Leaders from various industrial sectors in Nigeria have expressed concerns over the adverse effects of the current economic downturn on the sector's ability to thrive and contribute meaningfully to the nation's economic growth. These concerns were raised at the first stakeholders town hall meeting in Lagos with the Minister of State for Industry, John Eno, hosted by the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. The town hall meeting marks Senator Eno's inaugural engagement with stakeholders in the industrial sector, focusing on fostering collaboration, promoting inclusivity, and driving transformative conversations for Nigeria's industrial growth. This report has details. With escalating global and domestic challenges, the growth of the Nigerian industrial sector has been hampered, resulting in its underperformance. Hence the need to reassess growth strategies within the sector and resolve critical concerns. This has prompted calls by experts who urge the Nigerian government to address policies affecting manufacturing as the sector's GDP contribution continues to decline. At this town hall meeting with government agencies and the organized private sector, leaders of industry voiced out their concerns about the issues, which include FX devaluation, high interest rates, and low access to credit.
Despite several interventions of the CBN in the forex market, high exchange rate and forex scarcity still remain the major factors leading to the closure of businesses and increasing rate of exit of many companies from Nigeria to other African countries. Over the last 1 year, the exchange rate has dropped by over 56% from 764 to dollar to 1745 to dollar.
At borrowing 30%, 35%, you must be producing something else for you to be able to produce and at that rate and make profit. System. There's also an inefficient supply chain. We have heavy dependence on imported raw materials because even local sourcing is becoming challenged by insecurity. And that leads me to the last point that I'm making on this slide. The insecurity in some parts of the country has severely limited our operation.
In the case of today, you have 90% or 80% of the jobs being created by MSMEs. If we're creating all the jobs, and then the lending portfolio to MSMEs is 5%, whilst to our dear brothers in the larger space is the larger percent, how do we then say we're serious about developing our economy? We are the engine room of our economy.
In response to the concerns raised, the Minister of State for Industry, John Eno, reiterated the government's commitment to creating a thriving industrial landscape.
So we're trying to do an industry push at a season of constraint, at a time of constraints. What prospects do we have? But like I referred earlier on, I'm glad that speaker after speaker, everybody is hopeful. Everybody is optimistic that if the right things are done, and the right things will have to be done, the right things will have to be done. Challenging opportunities like these, challenging moments and times like these give us the opportunity to even do much better.
The minister also highlighted plans to address policy inconsistencies to boost local manufacturing in the country.
Because you listen to me talk about the executive order 3 and 5. I mean, we have this in place. The things that you're not going to look for new things. All they're going to call for is what? To implement and to focus on those things that already exist in order to do what? To do the push for promoting locally made goods and things and get Nigerians to actually get used to them.
Stakeholders expressed optimism that this inaugural town hall meeting will mark a turning point for the organized private sector with the potential to revolutionize industrial practices.
The minister coming in for the first time, engaging us, we needed to set the records, to present the situation to him, and to tell him those low-hanging fruits that he needs to be able to deal with for us to have a smooth take-up in terms of our engagement and in terms of development of the industrial sector.
We deal with those issues that has bedeviled the manufacturing sector, the industrial sector, the real sector as we call it. If we address those issues fundamentally, as I said, it has the potential to help us to address the issue of rising unemployment. It has the potential to also help us to address the issue of insecurity. And the more youth you have gainfully employed, the less challenge you have security-wise.
The inaugural Stakeholders Town Hall meeting has set the stage for a more collaborative relationship between the government and Nigeria's organized private sector. With actionable plans to address critical challenges, this meeting signals a hopeful future for the country's industrial sector. Okpeyemi Owosheni, TV360 News, Lagos.